Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials on any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Yeah. So, yep, Python. So before we get into the Python specific thing, we'll talk about some of the generic topic, and that is like how to learn any programming language. I'm not saying only Python, any programming language. How to learn. So you have to have a pattern because in a world of DevOps, sometime you work on the Python, sometime you work on the Java, sometime you work on the some programming language like Ruby. So different programming languages you use it now. We have a compile language, we have an interpreted language, we have a declarative language. So you will learn multiple languages, and you'll have to learn multiple languages. So how to learn any programming language, and that too also in 10 minutes. Okay, so this is the tactics which I think if you try, it will be faster ways to learn and then get started. So first of all, you need to understand that why we need programming language. Why we need programming language? That's a important thing. Why we need. Okay, so there's only one reason we have a programming language. We want to have a complex emotions, complex human emotions and expression. You can say expression. You want to send it to the machine. Okay, you look at your mind right now. How many things which is getting generated? If it will happen like this, I will do this, else I'll do this. No, I should learn Python. No, I should go and check my WhatsApp. No, I should get into Instagram. No, let me take care of the kids. So many things which is running in your mind, right? Some inputs which is been driven from your eyes or your ear, processing happening in the mind, and then output. It may be form of actions or maybe some speech, right? So we have so much of complex human expression. We want to get it done with the help of machines, but machine don't understand anything. Machine understand only 0 and 1. Okay, so this is we call it a binary, right? Only machine understands 0 and 1. So how can we convert this complex human expression to the machine? And machine should do the things, okay, do a things and get you the output. How can it be possible? So that we use in between programming language. Programming language. Can we get it done some output from some commands also? Yes, very much you can do that. You write some commands and it'll process and it'll give you output, but that commands we know is not having complex human expression. For example, conditional stuff. If you have this, give me this. If you have this, give me this. Or maybe looping, keep on running multiple times, right? Or maybe some sort of this kind of data, that kind of data. So that commands will not have, programming languages have. So now coming back to the questions like how to learn any programming language. So let's talk about the learning English, and then here let's talk about the learning the programming language. Okay, how it is similar actually. Let's understand that. So in English we learn alphabets, right? A to Z, correct? And here we learn data types. Okay, here we learn data types. Different data types we have in every languages. I'm not talking about one language. We have every languages. So A means you understand this alphabet. Z means you understand alphabet. We have a data type. Then here we have a words, right? Here and grammar. Then you make it sentence, right? Sentence with the grammar. You complete line, and this is the grammar. We use it in the using where? Using grammar, and that will become a, let's say, chapter or paragraph, whatever it is, correct? Longer one, right? Let's say you say book. Keep adding a sentence, hundreds and hundreds of sentence. You get a chapter, and then we get a books. This is how you get it, right? If you want to do in English or Hindi or any languages. So same thing we have here also, something similar. So if you want to express alphabet, something like that, data, you want to express number, you want to express some character, string, you want to express float, you want to express some date, you want to express anything, we have a data types. Okay, and then we want to create a words means which has some values in it. Words means some values, right? Words means some values. So that is where we have functions. You can correlate. Functions also has some return values. Every functions you give input, you get output. Functions, right? Method, we call it a functions, method, all this thing. Here we have a data types, but if you little bit complex, we have operators also. Operators means arithmetic operator, like a plus, minus, multiply, comparison operator, is equal to, is not equal to, and stuff like that. So here we have functions and method. Sentence is like a complete thing. We want to get it, and using grammar. Grammar is what? Grammar, you can say like uh, something like conditions, you put it up, you know, format you specify, you know, looping you do that. Okay, all this thing, past, present, future, you program for that, right? All this thing you predict actually. So something like a grammar. So here we do have a sentence with a grammar, something like a object, class. Okay, class use do all this you know, conditioning, looping, some sort of validations and stuff like that, you do that. And multiple class, if you have put it up together, multiple class, and then here you get applications. So something like that I'm trying to correlate. So whenever you want to learn, simple way, whenever you want to learn any programming languages, focus on data types, how to express, then learn the operators. Operators means how to combine two data types and get me the some output. Processing the data type. Operators means processing data types values, that can be done through the operators. Logic, you can call it logic, which you want to apply. Okay, after that you have to learn conditioning. Conditioning conditioning means if else, looping. Okay, then if the number of uh, sentence will grow larger, then you put it in a functions and with return. Okay, and then when you want multiple functions to manage functions, then put it up in a class. And class, multiple class, multiple class, you call it applications or software. Are you understanding? All of you? Okay. So yeah. So today we are learning Python. So we will learn data types, operators, how do we conditions, how do we loop, how do we functions, how do we write a classes, and that will become applications. So applications, nowadays we have a framework for managing multiple classes. Easy way. I'll talk about the framework. Today we'll use Flask. So let's learn uh, Python and then followed by quick demo on Flask. Let me tell you, it's not a easy topic. If you think, okay, I have a 4 hours, we'll finish the Python, I'll become a pro. No, you know that reality. I'm just taking out a fear out from you. I mean, how to get started. Ultimately, you know, programming language required multiple months of hard work to get, you know, to a stage where you start writing a program. So you have to do your best also. But yeah, the fear of programming language, today I will take it out from you. Okay, so can we get started? All of you? Okay, so we are going to discuss about what is Python, when and where is Python is being used, how to get started, and continue your Python journey. So what are the prerequisite for this we have? You don't need to have any prerequisite except some software development experience. If you have, it will be plus. And I think all of you have little bit of software development experience, if not too much. Okay, so anyone can learn Python. So what is a Python? So guys, Python is a high level programming language. High level programming language. Low level programming language, which is done in the hardware itself, but it's a high level programming language which is dynamic. That means dynamic means you can integrate with any database. The output may influence, can be influenced. Readability, if you read the Python program, easy to understand for the human. It's an interpreted language. It's interpreted means there are various category of languages which we have. We have a compiled language like Java or C, C++, interpreted language like a Python, PHP, Perl, and declarative language we have like XML, YAML, JSON. So these are the classification of programming language. So Python is interpreted. Interpreted means you don't need to compile it and then run the compiled program. Compilation and interpretation will happen together in the Python runtime environment, virtual runtime environment. So this will happen automatically. Okay, now multi-paradig means you can use it Python for many various applications, various domains and stuff like that. Now if you look at the history of the Python, I'm not going to spend too much of time, but if you see that here, first release has happened in 1991, and then Google App Engine has got written based on the Python itself in 2011. So see that in between some games has been written. Anaconda, the different Python version has been written. Python 2.0 got introduced in 2000. Python 3.0 got introduced in 2008. Okay, and many things has happened. So why we should care about Python? Simple. Look at the popularity growth for the Python. This is pretty odd pictures, but yeah, Python is very popular. It's one of the second largest programming language in the on this planet after Java. Okay, so it's very popular. Now this is also some popularity index here. You can see that uh, nowadays why this Python is very popular. So yes, Python philosophy is like a beautiful is better than ugly, explicit is better than implicit, simpler is better than complex, complex is better than complicated, and readability count. That means all you feel here is like the program is beautiful, explicit, simple to understand, not complicated, and readability count. So apart from that, what makes Python different from other programming language? So yeah, I mean, Java is also having very extensible design and all, but yeah, Python also has extensible design, community involved design, emphasizing fun culture and a great time to start. When and where the Python is being used? So guys, Python is being used almost in every domain. Are you in the Linux administration or system administration side? Let's say you're managing the Linux server or Windows servers and all stuff like that, you can use a Python, no problem in it. So Linux scripting administration, we use a Python. We use Python for IT admining tools actually. Okay, we use a Python for machine scripting and administration, like processing the files, configuration, processes, application, and testing. We use Python for the web development. Look at this, some of the very popular application which has been developed in Python. So Flask is one which I'll give you a little bit of some demo at a high level. Bottle, Pyramid, Websites, Django, Turbo Gears, Web2 PY. Some of the apps, ERM and ERP and CMS has been developed using Python, like a Plone, Django CMS, Mezzanine, or something like that. Okay, you can use for application scripting also. Okay, so that is also can be done. You can use Python for big data as well. Okay, so processing the big data, that is also terabytes, petabytes, exabytes nowadays what we are talking about. You can use Python for that. You can use a Python for machine learnings as well. So various applications can be developed, like to spam protection, network instruction, intrusion detection, optical character recognitions, computer vision. So many machine learning related applications you can use a Python. You can use a Python for the network also. So yes, network engineers also love Python and they use it. So yeah, you can look at this here. What do you use Python for? So this is a, I think last year some voting, and see that the use of Python mainly they are using in the data analysis, web development, DevOps, programming for the web parsers and scrapers, machine learning, educational purposes, and software testing, writing automation test cases and all. So yeah, look at this. These are the use of Python in the today's world. Yeah, so you can, in a nutshell, you can design a Python, you can use a Python to design any applications as such, like which can be web application, software development, database access, game development, desktop application, education related software, network programming, 3D graphics, and stuff like that. Okay, so yep, yeah, some of the popular software which has been developed in Python, which you can see here. So the popular YouTube video sharing system is largely written in Python. So you can imagine that the one which you have used every day, which you are using every day, which is written in Python. Google also makes extensive use of Python in its web search system. So that is also one thing. Dropbox, the one might have used it. So that is also using Python. Raspberry Pi, which is basically for the machine learnings and artificial intelligence and hardware programming and all. So the Raspberry Pi single board computer promotes Python as an educational language. A BitTorrent, you might have used it. So that also uses the Python program. NASA uses Python for specific programming tasks. Okay, Netflix, you have might have used it. So yeah, Netflix and Yelp have both documented the role of Python in their software infrastructure. So yeah, these are the big application which you see every day has been written or have been using the Python in one way or other way. So in summary, yeah, you can use a Python for various use cases. Okay, now we have two releases in Python, Python 2 and Python 3. Let me tell you, both are different releases. Okay, so Python 2, whenever you use Python 2, we have a pip Python and a IPython. What is that pip? Pip basically is a package manager. So I'll talk about little bit of package manager little bit later. But when you compare the Python 2 and Python 3, we have a executable which is a pip for Python 2, and Python 3 is a pip 3. When you have executable for Python 2, we call it Python, but executable here we have a Python 3, and here we have a IPython. Here you have IPython 3. So IPython, it can be library, is the libraries. That is what major difference. But again, there are so many difference which we have. It's like Python 2 dot is a legacy release, and Python 3 is a default Python, and which is under the support. So that is a thing which we have. So how do we execute the Python code? So here we have to execute the Python code. So for that we need an interpreter. Basically Python exes we need it. So we have to download and install the Python and set in the environment. So yes, that's the interpreter. Second thing we might need sometime is like REPL. Okay. So what is REPL? So REPL is basically a call out to Python code within an interactive REPL. So it's like basically interactive session when you can run, and then you get the some sort of command line, and there you can run the Python program and immediately you get output. So it's like interactive. After installing the Python, you can get this REPL and then get it done. Now apart from that, yeah, many installers is also available. Using that you can run a Python program like py to exe, py installer, and stuff like that. We'll be using today an interpreter itself, python.exe, for the executing the Python program. So but we can use the three method to do that. So now get started with the first things. So first you have to download the Python. So yes, I'm not going to show you all this demo, but yeah, you can download this Python from the Python website, and latest release 3.0, and then it can be downloaded for Windows, Mac, or Linux. Linux, let me tell you here, 2.7, which comes default for every Linux nowadays. But yeah, if you want to have a Python 3, you can install it. Instruction you can find hundreds of places. So yeah, in Windows, if you are using Choco is a package manager in Windows, and NuGet is also Choco package manager. So if you are using Windows, you may install using Choco. If you are using Mac, Brew. If you want to use it, let's say Ubuntu apt, if you want to install it through RHEL CentOS YUM. So those are the command line way to install it. The moment you install, you get all these three things: Python, pip, and IPython. Okay. So using Python, you execute Python file, and using pip, you download the and install, upgrade any packages which is there in the Python repository, central Python repository. And using IPython, you can interact and you can interact with the Python interpreter and work interactively. So that is the things. So this is the website which we have. I think you can go through that. It's our official website, python.org, and all this we have here. Look at this here. Here you have some Python 3.6, some tutorials, some library reference, some Python how-tos, installing Python modules, distributing Python modules, extending and embedding some APIs and stuff like that. So much of things you have it. If you look at this here, some of the release notes you can find on their website itself. So now working with the code of others. So one of the most important thing which we have in the Python is you can work and reuse the code rather than reinventing the cycle. Let's say you want some sort of code which has been already coded by someone and shared, so at some central Python repository. So how do we get it? And that's what I was talking about. We have a pip for it. So pip is the utility you have to install in the Linux or Windows or Mac. Okay, and pip, basically we call it a Python package manager. Okay, that means if you want to install, download and install any packages of Python, you have to use pip. So it's like a apt might have used in Ubuntu, or it's like a yum which you might have used in the RHEL. So in a programming language, you do have a module, third-party libraries, and you want to download that library and use it. So for that, we have a pip. Okay, so using the pip, you can download the multiple code from the one website which is called PYPI. Okay, that's one of website. We have a large code base. So let me show you here. So here, this is the one, okay, I was talking about. So using the pip, you can download multiple modules, the code which has been written by someone else. So see here, find, install, and publish Python packages with the Python package index. Okay, and here you can see how many projects you have altogether, almost 3 lakhs project, and how many releases you have, how many files you have, how many users is interacting with the Python PYPI. So these are the things. Now some of the trending projects which you can see it here, that means you don't have to write a program from the scratch. Everything you can just download and start working on with it. So here, this is a trending project, this is the new releases, and lots of things you can search here also as per your need. Different kind of programs you might have it, more than 3 lakh projects are there. So let's say if you go for one project, let's say Flutter, it's a way to create a web application. Okay, see here, the author of this package has not provided project description. That's okay, description is missing, but it's a latest release. So here you have some release history, 1.0, 2.0, and stuff like that. Let's say if you want to go to 2.0, and not much detail has been given, but if you want to download this, you can copy in your this code in your machine, pip install Flutter is equal to the version. You can write this code also, automatically it will take this code. Okay, here if you want to manually download the files, you can download it from here and use it. Okay, so these all this stuff which we have. Let's go for some other applications. Let's say here, I don't know what this application, this framework is. Some description, release history, download, same thing. How do we get this? So again, depends on your use cases. You don't need to write a line by line code. Nowadays, let me tell you, in the programming, you don't need to write much of the code. Basically, reusing the code itself is just challenging. You have so much of code available. Just the main challenge is like which one to use it. So that is the thing. So yeah, you can work with the code which has been written by others, stable code. You can download the code and use it. Okay, so now how do we work with it? Yeah, so pip install and uninstall. Here what happens, whenever you do the pip install and some package name which I showed you just now here, see, let's say encrypt. Okay, so here when you say pip install encrypt, okay, and here do we have a dependency? Let me check. This is the dependency. So you still work with the Python 2.4 and 3.0. So when you run this command pip install encrypt, it check the dependencies. Is it dependent on some other libraries, or like some specific version of Python? So that will be checked, and then specific version you can install. You can group it also. While installing it also, you can do the same thing. So using the pip, you can install and uninstall any package from the PYPI. Okay, so how to install a pip? So that's not a, that you won't get stuck if you want to install it. So many utilities are there. The first one which you see is a Python program which will install the pip. If you want to install through some command like yum also, it's possible. In Windows, chocolatey also is possible. So many ways it's there to install the pip. Okay, and after that, once you install the pip, how to download some packages from the PyPI. So you see that pip install or pip uninstall, whatever.
To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option.
It is very simple. So yep, you should check it out, this stuff, and then get started. So now, as part of the demo, some of the demo I'm going to show you some first program, Hello Python, how do you write, some web development related, some application scripting related, some what to run, stuff like that. Okay, so any questions so far? Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so let me give you some sort of demo. So after that, we'll get started to the data types, conditioning, looping, and all stuff like that. So first thing, one of the things we have to decide, I'll put it in how to get started with Python. Okay, Python, something like day one. Okay, so or day R1 or something like that. So I'll just put it in the step number 1. Okay, install Python 3. Work with the Python 3 because Python 2 got deprecated. It will work, but still we are not using it. So use the Python 3. That's a thing. Now, how do you install in Windows, Linux, and Linux also Ubuntu and RHEL family and Mac? That I'll let you decide because that is not something I feel is like a great topic to talk about it. Okay, second thing, you have to use which editor you want to use it. So guys, it's up to you. You can use any editor. For example, you can use Notepad, you can use TextPad, you can use Visual Code Studio, anything, Visual Code Studio, anything you can use it. I have no issues. But there's one editor which is popular in the Python community that we call it a PyCharm. Okay, from JetBrains. Okay, so if you can go and install this PyCharm, which is specifically designed for the Python coding actually. So see a PyCharm, Python IDE for professional. So now how to download and install that I will let you do that yourself. That's not a something I should teach you, but yeah, it's a one of the very good consider Python IDs from the JetBrains. It has been written. Now it is having free version and paid version both. So if you download, they will have a trial versions available. You can use it community. See here, you can use a professional version and community version, and you see the Mac OS, Linux, all this thing you have it. So you will figure it out how do you install and set up. That's not a difficult thing. If you want to use it completely free, then go for it. Or if you want to pay for it, little bit of money here you can buy and then use that professional. And now you can use a Visual Code Studio also, which is a free, by the way, so you know that. Now you can also use Eclipse, by the way. Okay, so you must be wondering, Eclipse for the Java programming? No, actually Eclipse we can use it for Python also. So Eclipse, we have a plugin concept. So you have to install Python first. You install application Eclipse and then install this ID, Python ID pydev. Okay, so in the marketplace it is available free of cost, so you can install that through this one also. How do you install it in Eclipse? If you go Eclipse, go to the extension manager, and then you can install it. That's not a difficult thing. So see here, some instruction they have given. You have to go to, this is the Eclipse UI instruction. You have to go to the marketplace, search for, and then install it. Very simple here, and finish. So yeah, you can use that for installing the Eclipse, and then pydev and get started. So here, this is also you can use it. Okay, so it's up to you. Now I will use PyCharm or Notepad or TextPad, whatever it is, and then get started. Okay, so first step, you have to decide which installation you have to do. Second thing, which editor you want to use it, it's up to you. And third step is step number 2. Step number 3, Third step is how to run hello world program. Okay, so now important thing, guys, let me tell you here some important things is a interpreted language, so no need to compile. So here you have to store a file in .py. Yes, every program which you are using in Python, you have to store in the py. Now which Python you are using, it's up to you. You are using Python 3, then you call this file name run a program, and that to Python 3 and file name .py. Okay, this is a this is where you store the Python program, and this is how you run the Python program. Now interactive shell is also there, but right now I will not get you lost in many things because it's a pretty huge things actually. So, and we have a limited time, so but interactive shell also you can use it, run a program using Python, IPython, interactive Python. You know that, right? The one which I was talking in the slides earlier. I means interactive Python. So that is also you can do that. Okay, so now installing part, I have it in Windows. So let me show you here. Typically all the tools I install in the C drive, and just a second. So here C tools, and here we have a Python. Look at this. This is a Python 3.9. I installed, I think, last month. This is the latest version. So here you have it. Now this path you need to set in the path environment variable, that you know that, and something which is a generic, right? Any tools we install, we set the executable path inside a environment variable. So if you see here env, go to the env, and you will see this path somewhere. And do you see the path? Where is a path environment variable? Here it is. And somewhere, look at this, guys. First one here and second one here. So whenever you install this Windows version of Python 3, it will do that things automatically. But if it is not done, you have to do manually. It's up to you. So now here a script is also added, and this one is also added. That means I can use here, understand that I can use python.exe, and this is also one exe python w. Okay, that also you can use it. And script, you have some utility. See here, pip you have it, pip 3.9 you have it, and pip 3 you have it. So all these versions, whichever you want to use it, you have it. So that it's possible. So yeah, this is the installing part. Second thing is editor. So let's go ahead and use the editor. So I have installed the editor before this one only. Typically I use a Visual Studio Code, but this editor is designed for Python, so I'm using for this demo this editor only. So I'm not installing in front of you how to install, and all you'll figure it out offline, because this is just time consuming. Half an hour it will take to install it itself. I've clicked. Just wait for it. It's not loading. Yeah, it's coming. Okay, so I click multiple times and now it's popping up. Slow little bit for me. So continue. Don't send. And this is the most latest version of PyCharm. And this is a professional version. Okay, I have a trial, so after that I have to uninstall it. Okay, so here whatever that you want to activate or evaluate for free. So right now I don't want to activate PyCharm because I don't have a license and all. I want to evaluate for free. Evaluation is free for 30 days, and done and continue. Slow little bit for me in my laptop, though I have a very good RAM, but not sure why it's taking time. Okay, so let's not waste time. I mean, I'm not sure why it's not popping up. It's damn slow. Let me check. I see it's running in the backend, but it's not coming. Okay, let's not troubleshoot quickly because we don't want to lose time. So here what I'm going to do, guys, look at my screen, all of you. So I'll go to E drive, and here I will create one directory, Python, for storing all of my code. Okay, and I'm going to run the first program. So what I'm going to do, first.py. Okay, this is the file which I'll be writing a code. Now, just for the demo, I have all the code for you uploaded it my GitHub, and here you can use that one. I'll share all these links later point of the time after this training, so you will also can use this all program. So not writing line by line because it will consume lots of time. Python. So here I'm going to use some sample programs which we have here, and should I give you first simple program? Let's use the first. Okay, so here okay, simple, just very simple program. Just I'm not teaching you programming, I'm teaching you how to write a program, not but how to compile a program. See here, there's one variable website apple.com and print that website, that's all. Now how do we run this? So guys, look at my screen here. I go and open up a command line, and yeah, now here Python, and which file, first.py, and you see apple.com. So now this is the way I was talking about. Yep, you have to install the Python, and then which editor, and then how to run program. IPython is also there, which is a interpreter. Let me check it is installed or set or not. No, it's not there. So I will have to install it separately using a pip. Okay, so how do we install the pip? IPython. So IPython pip command, pip IPython. So here you can use this one for interactively working with the Python and then get started. So how do you install it? This one. Okay, so this I am doing it right now just for the sake of demo, but I'm not using it right now. So pip is there. Remember, I have a pip already somewhere in the script location. Where is that? Here. So this pip is this is the pip. You can check the which are the versions and all. And now it's downloading from the pypi.com, and you see that everything is done. You should check it out here. All this output, see, downloading, collecting. That means IPython has a multiple dependencies from the different sources. So it's collecting and downloading from the C here. IPython has a trait less, some package dependency, mat, some here. Okay, and here, and see here it's downloading, see all utilities also, and done. There's one question, let me just check. Yes, yes. Inbuilt interactive tools also is there, but IPython is a very rich in those category. So we have an interactive inbuilt also, but we hardly use it. Okay, so let it happen automatically in the download section. It will take time. Okay, so now we have talked about how to install Python. We have which editor use and how to run, how to save and how to run the program. Now let me get started with the programming language. Let's learn the programming language now. So where's my, just a second guys, close that, right? Yeah, so now let's learn the programming language. So recall that I'm not teaching you anything great. You are learning data types, some operators, functions, method, classes, all these things we are going to learn. And every programming language has a similar concept. So let's get started. So what we're going to learn in this, so we're going to learn the data types. Flow control means how do we control, how do we set a loop, how do we set a dictionary, how do we do the exceptions handling and all stuff like that. So yeah, types of see, that's it's loading right now, so slow. Okay, anyways, let it come. So types of Python. So let's understand. Look at this here, types of Python. Okay, so types of Python typically we have a numeric type. When you want to represent the data numeric, then you can use numeric. Numeric also you have a different kind of it. Integer you have it, float you have a complex number, you have dictionary you have it, dictionary boolean you have it, true and false. Set we have a three types: string, list and tuple, and again sequence type. So sorry, set and then sequence type you have a string, list and tuple. Look at in a different way. Here we have a one, we call it immutable data types, and another we call it a mutable data types. What does that mean? So it's a way mutable data types, data types in Python where the value assigned to variable can be changed. Okay, this can be changed. That means list, dictionaries and set, it can be changed. Immutable data types in a Python where the values assigned to variable cannot be changed. Okay, so that is, we call it immutable data types. Look at this here. Now here again, different classifications you have it. Don't mind it. Is for the different discussions. Here we have a primitive and non-primitive. Now what is a primitive and non-primitive? Primitive which has come inherited from the Python 2.0. Okay, so integer, string, boolean and float has come from the Python 2.0. Non-primitive means it got introduced in Python 2.0 or Python 3.0, and the primitive means it has come from the in a Python 2.0 from, I mean Python 3.0 it has come from the Python 2.0, but in Python 2.0 it has come from the first Python release. So that is a primitive. And non-primitive, which is a new one: list, arrays, files, tuples and sets. Now it's a complete list of all the data structure in Python. So here a primitive, integer, float, string and boolean got introduced in the Python earlier, and the non-primitive we have it got introduced from the 2 or 3. Okay, so array, list, tuple, dictionary, set, files, and again if you see the list, you have a linear, non-linear, stack, a queue, graph and tree. Now if you really want to do the understanding of the data structure, Python data structure, you should check the list linear, list non-linear, stack, queue, graph and trees. Okay, so look at this. How do we declare it? That's a question. So these are the core data types we have. How do we declare it? So if you want to declare the numbers or float or booleans or whatever it is, you see that here 1 2 3 4, or second one is a float, third one decimal, fractions and stuff like that. If you want to display that, if you want to declare that string, then either single quote and double quote you can use it. And here you see that some special character has been used for ignoring it. So in the third string, how do we present the list? Typically in the parenthesis, you see that inside the parenthesis also the element number 1. See, first one we call it element number 0. Okay, second one we call it element number 1, index 1. So index itself is a list here. So 2, 3. So mind it here. Dictionary, again, you have a key and value format. So see a food key, spam value, test key, yum values, like that. Tuples you have a like this in the list format, but it can be mix and merge. Files, again, which you can open up any files, and my file is equal to open is a inbuilt function in Python, and give the path of the file, and the Python is a path of the file, is in current path, and what you want to do in that, read, write, or what exactly. So this is the way. Sets you can represent that one. Other core types also we have a boolean type and none and stuff like that. Apart from that, function, modules, classes, anyways I'll teach you. So yes, look at this here. If you want to see that how it's been done in the Java and Python, C++ and Java. So see here, Python is not a strongly typed language. What is that strongly typed language? Anyone would like to tell me what is a strongly typed language? What is a strongly typed language?
In a strongly typed language, you have to always explicitly mention the data type while declaring a
Right. Yeah.
variable.
Yeah. So here you see, I talked about so many types in Python, but we don't declare while declaring the variable. So see, in Java, what we do, if it is integer, we have to tell, okay, hey, it's an integer. And if it is string, then we say, hey, it's a string. So that way we have to declare it. But Python is not like that. You declare it and automatically Python will understand, and accordingly they will use it. So see here you declare the numbers, and here you declare the string. So answer is equal to 42, and the name is equal to whatever it is, Python view. Okay, now this is the numbers. So here numbers, we have a integer, float, and complex. These are the types in the number itself. So look at this here. Some of the output I am showing you. This is an interactive shell which we are using, and look at it very carefully. Here what we are doing, there is one function which is doing some additions. Okay, so what is the function, what is the function, how to declare, and all, I'll talk about it, just making you comfortable with it. So here you see that combining the two data types. So here what you see, look at this. Def is a function, name of the function is add underscore number, and the parameter is a and b. Now when you use this function, then what exactly it will do the processing, it will first a is which we are passing the variable a plus b. Plus is the operators. Okay, we have a different kind of operators. One of the operator is arithmetic operator. Operator means, remember, operators means which will process the variables. I introduce you, which will process the variables. Somewhere I don't know. See, processing the data types, values, or logic. So that's called operator. Various kind of operators we have. We'll discuss one by one all these things. But this is just to visualization how the data types is automatically loosely typed in Python. So see here, print a plus b. That means whenever you pass the any input to the add numbers, it will give you the return value will be there, a plus b. Now what you are passing, look at this here. What you are passing, add number 5 and 11, and what you are getting, that's 16. But if you look at this here, you are passing one integer and second one is a string. So it cannot be, what do you say, it cannot be perform that arithmetic operation. So here what you get, the error, unsupported operand types, dot dot dot, integer and string. So this is like a type here. So that's the reason we call it Python is a loosely type. That means you can declare anything, but again when it comes for the operation, then only you'll get that error, and it's like this. So it's a loosely typed language. Now see here, how can we hint whether it's integer and or other variable type. So this way you can to avoid this error, you can say like, okay, you have to pass the integer. Okay, so how do you enforce the user? I'm not teaching a function right now, but just to get you the data types understanding how it is loosely typed. Here you can say, okay, a is a type of integer has to be passed, and b has to pass the integer, then only you will get the results, whatever it is. So you can hint actually to the user what the type of variable you should pass. So that is a things. So now look at this. How do we declare the integer and float? Look at it very carefully and a little fast also. So you see that these are the variables: answer, pi, and answer is equal to 42 and pi is equal to dab dab dab. So here you are automatically it's happening. So there's no error actually because both are integer. Now look at this here, integer pi 3. So you can also convert and get the conversion done automatically also. Automatically conversion. So here you want to convert the POI to the integer. So you just type p integer pi and it automatically return the integer. Now if you want to convert that answer, which is integer, to the float, then you use the float answer and 42.0. So this is the way automatic conversion is happening inside a number. Okay. Now we were talking about what you do with the this different data types here, numbers and all, what you do with it. So we have multiple operators, and again it's like a huge topic. I'm not talking everything, but I'll give you some idea about what can you do with the operators. Operators means two variables, you process it and get you the some value. Again I'm reminding you, two different types of variable. You process it and you want to get some results with the help of operators. You can think of this as like this is like a ways to process the data. It's like algorithm, something like this, applied on the two variables and get you the results. It's like a mathematics sort of. It's not mathematics, a combination of many things. So here you have arithmetic operator, assignment operator, comparison operator, logical operator, identity operator, membership operator, bitwise operator. So operators are used to perform operations on values and variables. The Python operators are classified into 7 different categories. Now look at this. In this itself, you have everything explained about arithmetic, relational, and assignment operator. Look at this. So very simple, one sheet for everything. Arithmetic operator, you have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modus, and power and exponential. So all these things you see. Relation operator, less than, greater than, less than, is equal to, greater than, equal to, not equal to. And assignment operator is equal to, plus, and is equal to, minus, and is equal to, divide and sign, multiply and sign. So these are the things. Now what happens, you see that here. When you want to add two integers, look at these descriptions also. So if you want to add a two integer, 2 plus 5 is become a 7, 45 and 5. I mean, you see that. So these are self-explanatory thing, nothing great. I don't think so you'll get stuck for that. But look at the relationship operator where you want to compare between two things. So how do you compare in Python? So how do you do the arithmetic operation? You look at this, the fourth column. Okay. So this is the way. Relation operator, what is the result? So always it will result in the true and false. Assignment operator, what will have a results? So assignment operator, little bit interesting. You look at this. When you assign, then that num is equal to 2. But when you say num plus is equal to 2, that means you are adding that one more times, or you are adding. See again here you see num is equal to minus 2. So how come it's becoming 2? Because here earlier you had a num is equal to 4 and you decided num will have a 2. So num you set the 2 in the first line, then you added by 2, then it become 4, again reduced by 2, then you become 2, then here you divide and it become 1, and multiply, it become that one. So this way you can get that all the arithmetic done. Look at this. How can you do the operators, play operators on the string? So look at this here. Hello world in a single quote is equal to hello world in the double quote, and is equal to hello world in the triple quote. Yes, all are equal. So now you must be wondering which one we use it. So you can use a single quote also, but if you want to declare some variable inside a string, then you have to use a double quote in that case. Okay, look at this. Here you have a string hello, and you're calling the function, this is called capitalized function. It's an inbuilt function in a Python. There are hundreds of inbuilt function in Python we have. So here we capitalize, then it become a hello. So the first word will become hello. So that is the, also you can do some processing on the string actually. Here you see hello replace E with A. It's very simple. I think you can understand that. Important things is here in this slide. Important thing is there are so many functions which you can use it with the variables and influence the output. Okay, so here you capitalize, replace, is alpha, is digit, all these functions which you can use it and get it done. See here, some CSV value, okay, and split, that is a string. This is one string, by the way. Look at this, some CSV value. Now there is a one pattern which you see, that delimiter. Always all the keyword is delimited, I mean separated by one keyword, which is called comma. So you can split which delimiter should be used, comma.
To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option.
And then you can store in the array. So that way also you can do. So split always create an array. Remember, split, whenever you do the split, it always create an array. And whenever you use the is digit, it create a boolean. Whenever you replace, it creates a string, capitalized string. So you have to understand all these things. Every functions has a certain return values that you have to respect and then process it. Are you understanding these slides, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, so now look at this here, string format functions. See here, format functions means what? You want to have some customized a return value. So how do we do that? Customize one. So how do you do that? So look at this here. There's one variable, string variable name Python bow, and machine, again Python, machine is equal to HAL. And now here what you are customizing the format, I mean the output. The string is nice to meet you, and parenthesis 0, and I am parenthesis 1. So here uh, if you type only that one, then it will print as it is. But if you concate with the function called format, so that way you can format that content. Okay, so format, so where when you say name, it's a 0, and then comma machine is your 1. So that way it will be automatically interpolate here, and then you get a 0 with the Python bio I am HL, like that. So you can influence the format using the format function also. So like that, you have so many functions. See, capitalize, replace, is alpha, is digit, format. So many functions you have that you can do the manipulation for the string. Okay, so here you see that one more here, F, nice to meet you, name, and I am a machine. So here this is the same way, but it's an easy way to write. F means function format this particular string, whereas whatever the writing name, instead of here you are using, you look at this first one, you are using the index 0 1 2 3 4 like that, but here you are not using index, hard coding the variable with the format. So you can place the index, or you can place the directly variable name also. So that way also you can format the function. Look at the boolean here. There's a Python course true, Java course false, and int Python course is equal to 1. So what will return? You have to understand that integer Python course is equal to 1. Integer Java course is equal to 0. So string Python course is equal to true. So that way you can do the boolean and null. You can set the boolean version and getting started. So here you see Python course is a value is true, but if you want to convert into the integer, then of course the true is equal to 1. You know that true is equal to 1, false is equal to 0. Now the Java course, that is a boolean, okay, and which is set with a false. Now you are converting again to false to the integer. So what will be converted? 0. Again, if you see that here Python course is equal to true, which is a boolean, but here you are converting the string, so again it's a double quote. So you'll get it in the double quote. Now, so you can also set the none also. Done. Now here we talk about the string, number, integer, string, and boolean. Now let's look at the list. Okay, so what is a list? So list, in Python we have a different use cases. A list is a sequence of values similar to an array in other programming language, but more versatile. Okay, array you must be knowing if you have studied C, C++, and Java, and so it's something similar to that. We call it in Python, we call it a list. The values in a list are called items or some elements. Okay, I call it elements because I've got a habit of calling elements, because I'm coming from the started my career in Java, so that is how it is. But yeah, you can call it items also. That's not a problem. The important properties of Python list are as follow. Okay, so there are certain properties which you need to understand. So list are ordered one. So list, remember the order of the item inserted, accessed by index. Index means 0, starting with the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So accessed by index. So if you want to access the list, you have to use the index. So item in a list can be accessed using an index. Again, third one, list can contain any sort of object. Okay, so it can the list, the one which you are having, it can contain any sort of object. It can contain the numbers, it can contain the string, it can contain the tuples or any other list. Actually, it can contain the list also. And lists are changeable, mutable. Okay, mutable, it can be changed. So you can change a list in a place, that I mean that element, whatever you have elements, you can change it. Items, what you say in Python also. So you can change it and add a new items or delete or update the existing item. That is possible. So these are the some of the characteristics of the list which we have. Look at this. How do we declare? Look at the first line. How do we declare the list? So list is equal to, you see here, and here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is a item or element. Okay, now how do you access that first item which is a 0? So how do you access the first item which is 0? So look at this here, list 0 in parenthesis, and then you can, when you say list parenthesis, that's an index 0. Here you have a 0 index, then you return 0. Okay, and here you see right hand side 0 index but colon. That means you display everything from the index number, from the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. Here also you see second line, list 1, then it will display the 1. And when you say list only column, it will display everything. Okay, when you say list 2, index 2, then it will display the third one. And then here you say list 2 and 3. So starting with the 2 and 4. So starting with the 2 and 4, what is the value? So here you see 2 means 0, 1, 2. Look at this very carefully. And then 4. So see 0, 2 to 4. Okay, you want to display 2 to 4. So what we have, 2 to 4, 2 and 4. So here we have 3. Okay, so it's a 2 means 0, 1, 2, 2 and 3. So here you see that way you see that 2, 2, 3, 4 you can display. Because you might be getting little confused because the index number and the value is also same, but here you have an index number. Remember, when I say list 2 colon 4, that is the index. Don't get confused. Okay, while explaining I made some mistake also. That's the index. Okay, and when you say output, that's the output. Output means value. So when you say value, then it's a 2. That means it's a third index actually. Okay, understand that. And when you say value 3, it's a fourth index, means 0, 1, 2, 3, index number 3, but it's a fourth element, that way. So again you see that different way to present 1, 2, 3, and index 4, you get you the 4, and what this is a different way to present, and you will get to know that. Look at this. This is a little cleaner. So you have one list. The element we have a probe. Okay, and index we have a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So first one start with the 0, and the last one, which is the fifth element, which we have a index 4. And negative index also you can call it. So if you call hyphen -5, then it will return P. If you call -4, then it will call R. So that way also you can use it. So you can use the index, you can use negative index, you can use the range as it's in right side, which I have used it, and many way. Look at this here. List we can declare in the parenthesis, square bracket, sorry, not parenthesis, square bracket, and Mark, Katrina, Jessica. Mark is first element, second element Katrina, third Jessica. Index is 0 Mark, 1 Katrina, 2 Jessica. Okay, how do you access it? Look at it. Simple. 0 is equal to Mark, 2 is equal to Jessica, -1 again. You understand that -1 here I said, right? Look at this -1. -1 means last one, the one which you have it. So Jessica. Are you understanding all of this?
Yes.
Okay, so little bit of practice you have to do that. Probably now might be easier, but when again you do that, it's all about the practice. Programming is all about the practice. Again, you have a one list and calling this here, and this is the way. Look at the third line, which we are doing comparison actually. So student names, student underscore comparison operator is equal to dot dot dot. So first you declare the variable, list variable, and then you print the variable index number 0, and then you're comparing student names, is it equal to, then it will, this third line will display true or false if it is a true, or if it is a false or something like that. See here some of the functions which you can use in the list function. Here you have a one student names Mark, Katrina, and Jessica, and here you are calling third one. So third one, that means no can do. So here you are setting up the one new variable, new element, sorry, not variable, new element to the list which is called student names. You are, so now you become a Mark, Katrina, Jessica, and 0 1 2 3 4. So third index will become a fourth element, third index will become a Homer. So how do you append it? So dot append is a function which you can use it to append it. Now if you want to see that, so your results will become a Mark, Katrina, fourth line, look at this, Mark, Katrina, Jessica, and Homer. Now here you do the some sort of conditioning. Mark in student name. So here you are saying Mark, which is string name, in student names, is it true, is equal to true. So it will check the student name list and whether the mark element is there or not. So if you want to check any element whether they're in your list or not, this is the way you do that. Now if you want to get the list of numbers of element in the list, len we use it. Okay, look at this, len student list is equal to 4. How many elements in the list we have it? Okay, there's some problem with the slides. Del function to delete the del, look at the del student names 2. So that way the 2 means what? 2 means, if you look at the fourth line number, 2 means 0 1 2, Jessica will be removed. So del and the name of the list and the index number 2, Jessica will be removed. So that is how you can remove the element also. And after that you have a list which is Mark, Katrina, and Homer. So append del, you can try it out and you can validate using those lines in Mark in student name and len. These are some of the function, not every function I'm using it, but some of the function. In Python we have more than 500 functions in a different use case scenarios, so you have to understand that. See here you have one slicing one. How do you slice actually? So look at this here, slicing means cut it a part of it. So here slicing means Kate slicing, do you remember that? Something like that. So you have a list Mark, Katrina, and Homer, and you are doing the slicing. So one means index number 1 and colon. So that means you show me from the Katrina, start with the 1 means 0 is a Mark, Katrina is 1. So show me from the 1 to end of it. So it's showing you Katrina and Homer. If you say show me that 1 colon and hyphen 1, so here 1 means what? 1 means Katrina, hyphen 1 is also Katrina actually. Okay, no, hyphen 1 will be Homer, so remove from the Homer, so that way it will be Katrina. So that way also you can do the slicing. How do you print the list? Look at this here, simple. You use the index for it, so you can print the list. Okay, now after that, understanding the variables, different kind of variables, we have not gone into tuples, dictionaries, and all stuff like that, but yeah, we have so many types of variables. Operators also, some of the operators which I have shown you. Please look at this slide. This is pretty well and easy to understand in one go itself. All the 3 important operator which you use a lot in this. Bitwise is not there here, and yeah. Compared to C++, slicing is easy, but conceptually it's the same thing. Yeah, it's just the syntax issues actually. Syntax understanding. Okay, Python if else elif statement. So what are the conditioning statement we have in a Python? What are the conditioning statement we have a Python? So simple, I think this you know that every language is, since our first semester we've been Any conditioning, any languages we studied, C, C++, Java, Python, Perl, PHP, what else, Ruby. So all these things we have a conditioning. Actually conditioning we have in the declarative language, but in a different way. So YAML JSON also have a conditioning, but different way, not like a if else. So in Python we have a conditioning: if statement, else statement, else if statement also. So if statement used to execute if the block of the code to execute a block of the code if a specified condition is true. Else if it is not true, if condition, then you use the else one. Simple. Elif means you have a multiple nested if else, then you can use elif. So elif used to specify new condition to test if the first condition is false. So if the first condition is false, no problem, elif like that. So you can do that. So look at this here, very simple flow. This is the if statement. If this condition is true, then run those statement and complete this. So the statement which you have, it will be running only if it is a condition is true. So in the condition you can set any operators. You can combine operators and variables here. Typically we use this comparison operator most of the time, but again return values can be also true and false or something like that. So that boolean also it can be used. So look at this here, one example. Here you have declared the two variable. Okay, this is the one of the way to declare the multiple variable in a one line. So where when you say x comma y 7 comma 5, that means x is equal to 7, y is equal to 5. Now if if x is greater than y, then print this. Simple, x is greater. So equality, I mean we use the comparison operator here. So all these comparison operator which I have shown you in the previous slides also and here also is equal to, it should return true and false. That conditions what you set with the if it should return true and false. How do you return a true and false? It's you typically we use operators like a comparison operator, but there's other ways to get you the true and false also. You can use the boolean also, you can use the return functions also. So many ways to get this stuff done. Okay, this is the else condition. That means if first is getting executed, no is not getting executed, execute the else statement. Okay, so else is by default, there's no things. The else is depend on the if is not executing, then else. Very simple. Now this is the elif statement. Okay, so elif a statement comes only if it is not working. If is not true, then elif. If elif is not, then else. Simple. So this is the one. Okay, so conditional expression ternary operator. Ternary operator you can use it. So ternary operator we use it to minimize the number of lines of code typically. So here you have a variable is equal to statement, whatever the statement, if condition else statement. So here what happens, run this statement. See, understand that, forget about the variable is equal to, run this statement of the code. If condition matches, if that is true, else run the statement. So this is the ternary operator. Whatever the output of the statement set in the variable, that is a same thing. So it can be used the ternary operator. Look at this. How can you write it? If else. This is a if else. Okay. So number is equal to 5. If number is equal, it's a comparison operator. Again, number is equal to 5. Print number is 5. Else print whatever you want to do. And look at the syntax and all, colon and all, I think you will notice it once you practice it. It will come with the practice, so you'll get into that. Look at this here, the other two truthy and falsy values. So here number is equal to 5. If number, what is if number? So here when you say if number, that means if the number is declared or not. Okay, if number is declared or not. So here if number is not declared, let's say if the variable itself is not declared, then it will be false, but here it is declared. So number is equal to 5. So that's the reason you are saying if number is declared, that's the reason print number is defined and truthy. And text Python, if the text is declared, which is a Python, then text is defined and truthy. So that way you can do the truthy and falsy values also. So if someone is not declaring the value, that way you can validate and say, hey, validate the, declare the numbers, variables. Okay, here boolean, and look at this here, Python course is equal to true, which is a boolean. Okay, it's not a string, it's not a number, it's a boolean, true. Now here you say if a Python course, that's what I said, in the condition you can use the boolean also, not only the operators, you can use the boolean also, you can use the functions also, which should return true and false. Okay, so here if a Python course which is a true by default, this will execute. But here aliases is equal to alias found is none. None is not something like which is a true and false, it is it's nothing actually. So here you have if alias is found which is not true, because none, so this will not execute, the second code will not execute. Okay, not if, we have a not if also. So if is being used, but sometimes people use the not if also, so it's a different actually, it's a same thing, but put it in a different way. So look at this here, number is equal to 5. If number comparison operator is not equal to 5, that's a exclamation is equal to means not equal to, okay, 5, this will not execute. Okay, so if not equal to 5, then this will not execute. Here Python course is go true, if not Python course is not set, then this will not execute. So this is a way also, same thing you can put it up with a not also. So see here, look at this if statement, else statement, you can validate truth and false values also, boolean also, none also, not if also. So all these things we have in the Python. So it's up to you which one you use it, and depends on your case programming structure. Multiple if conditions which you can use it. So here look at this here, how do we set the multiple conditions? So here we have a operators, logical operator. Here we have a logical operator. See, number is equal to 3, so is equal to means that's a comparison operator, but here you see and is a logical operator. So logical truth table, I want to show you the truth table before understanding this. Let me show you. I think some of you must be knowing about it. We have studied this truth table in our colleges. And or. So yeah. I'm just looking for. I hope this is good. And this is also good. This is also good. So I'm sure you might have knowing this one, just reminding you. See here. So when we have a first statement true and second statement true, then we get a true. And it's an and, okay, not or. And when we have a true and false, then we get a false. When we true, a false and true, then we get a false. This will be a complete one actually. One more. See here, So here we have and, or, zor, and NAND. These are the 4 one. So in the Python we have and or we use a lot. So look at this here. This is the truth table. So when you have A true and B true and A statement true and B, okay, then it's a see here, 0 means false. 0 means false. So here A false, B false, false. A false, B true, false. A true, B false, B false, false. And A true, B true, and then it's become true. Now in a or, you understand that if it is a false, 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 true, 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 false, true, 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 true. So just look at the only one right now, not to everything. So this is the same condition which we have used it here. So this is called multiple if condition. Are you able to correlate all this stuff, guys? Yeah.
Yes.
So here, yeah. So here there's one statement which is number is equal to 3, whether it's returning true and false, and the Python course whether it's returning true and false. So number is equal to 3 is returning true, and Python course is set, so that is also true. So true, true, true. This will be executing. So that way also you can do that. Again here you see number is equal to 17. This is a false. Again Python course is set true, false, true, false or true. It'll become a true. Remember, false or is a or. So easy way to understand this thing, because everything cannot be presented in the slide. It will become a long day, of course, but this is the easy way to understand actually. Okay, so I'm sure you might have studied also, but just to remind you, it can be used in a Python, and this is the way you can use in a Python. Ternary operator also you can use it here. Okay, bigger is a ternary operator. So here you see bigger, that means it will print the bigger if a is greater than b, else it is a smaller. So that way also you can ternary operator. Okay, now looping iterators in the Python. So look at this here. How do we do that? So this is a while loop, while condition statement, else statement. Okay, so let me jump to the examples. Okay, so while loop here. So here we have x is equal to 0 while x is less than 10. Print count is equal to dot dot and format. So format I have shown you that I have discussed last also. So here x is equal to 0, which is an integer by default. You understand that. Here what you are doing, comparing whether x is less than 10. Of course x is less than 10, so that means true. While true, then it will print count is equal to index. That's sorry, not index, it's a yeah, it's an index for that whatever the values of x. So it will print 10. And here what you are doing, first you are printing count is 0, which is a 10. Sorry, count is 0, and then here what you are doing, appending by 1, so it will become a 1 also. So x is equal to x plus is equal to 1, so it's appending by 1. Okay, you can use a for also in the while is there also, for is there in the Python. How do you use it? So see here, for name is a variable. This variable, it can be an element or element in the list also. So here for name in student names. So name is a basically element name in the student name. Okay, you declare. So as long as that you have an element that will be running as many times. So let's say you have a 5 element, it will run 5 times. In means it will run 5 times. Now here what you are doing, print student name is, it's a format again. Look at this format again, whatever that you are setting to the name variable, each element you will display that. So student name is the format 0 and dot format name. So name variable is defined 5 times, so it will display 5 times like that. Look at this one more code here. You are setting up, this is the traditional way which we've been doing in the Java also. So var is equal var variable I is equal to 0, I is less than some array length, and I plus plus keep continuing, and then all these things. So other code we don't use nowadays. This one infinite loop, yep, it's while is equal to true all the time, and keep running it, and you break it sometime, keep running in the infinite. So the moment you set while is equal to true, it's like an infinite loop. But if you want to break it inside it, then if number is equal to 42, then break it, else keep running it. So here keep running hello world, hello world, hello world. Okay, and break it the moment you have a number is equal to set 42. So somewhere you have to keep increasing the numbers also, so it will break it, otherwise it will not break it. This is the way you can keep the dictionary. So here is student key name mark value student ID. How do you use it? So this is the way to declare the dictionary, and this is the also one of the ways to declare the a dictionary. So list of dictionary. So here you have a see here you have a dictionary. Here you have a list of dictionary. Look at this. Okay, list, it's a list. Parenthesis is a list, curly braces is a dictionary. So here you have a list of so this is also how you can declare the multiple list in the dictionary, multiple dictionary in the list, so that you can do that. How do you access the dictionary then? So look at this here, student name is a key, mind it, name is a key, it will display the mark. So how you call it? So parenthesis, instead of calling the index, you call the key, simple. So same, student name, student last name, whatever way you want to student dot get and last name and unknown. So this way you do that. student.keys, how many keys you want to, only you want to display the keys. So name, student ID and feedback, name, student ID and feedback, only keys. Here you want to display only values, student.values. You want to display only name, so you have a James in this way, and you want to delete some key and value from here, so you can use the key name and then delete the values also. So this is the way you can work with the dictionaries and data. Other types also, we have a complex, long, bytes and byte array, tuple, set, frozen set.
To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option.
So many things, so I'm not getting into that. Okay, so can we get into the demo? Any questions so far? All of you? Okay, so guys, all the demo I have written, all the demo programs I have written here in this one page only related to. So look at this here, one program here, two program here. Here, this is the for loop, condition, again condition, if and else, if else, nested else, how to use the comments, docstring, variables with how to print and all stuff like that. So same thing I'm doing one by one. Let's look at this. I'll share all these utilities and all the codes and all. I'm not changing the file name again and again. Why? Because it will take lots of time to create file, save it and run. So same file I'm using for everything. So that way it will be easier for me. So look at this here. Start from here. This is the one code. Okay, I hope it is visual to all. So for I in range 1 to 11, so this is the range actually, and print I, if break it, if I is equal to 5, it will break here. So that means it's basically you have set the range of 1 to 11 and print I, keep printing it I, and if it is the moment it reaches to 5, then break it. So this is the way you can use the break statement and get started. So let's get running. So where is that? Clear the screen. See here, one okay, are you able to see that, all of you? Yeah, so see here after the break. So this is the way. Look at this here, conditioning programming. If true, this is all bit true, then print hello and age equal to 5, something which you are not using right now. So yes, setting up this. If true, print hello and set the age equal to 5. So see here hello, and you set the variable age equal to 5. Now here you see the same program, you can put it in the one line also. If true, print hello and save is equal to 9. See here, understand that logic here. Here if else you have it, look at this here. If true, print hello, sorry. So if true, print true, else print false. So clear the screen. Here true, because true is always this has executed. So, but if you say false here, it will print the false. Okay, now this is something which is nested loop. Okay, and this will give you some error also. See here, if true, print here, print this, else print this one. So this is the identification issues actually. Look at this here. See here, identification error, expected and indented block actually. So you have to keep it little bit separate. So this one, Okay, so this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so now let's see that. What is this? Missing parenthesis. No, no, just okay, sorry. Just copy this. Done. Okay, so this is the identification you have to correct. How do you introduce the Python comments in the Python? So look at this here. This is the way you can introduce the Python. Print hello. See here. So this is not effective. This is also one form of multi-line comment. Look at this. This is the multi-line. So if you want to use multi-line comments, you can use this one. Here it is. You can also use a doc string. What is a doc string? Let's use this here. Copy whole things together. See here. Doc string basically, you can is a short for the documentation string. It is a string that occurs as a first statement in a module, functions, class, or method. Now, functions, modules, class, I have not discussed, but it's a next topic. But we must write what a function class does in the doc string. So something which you want to define it, then def is a function, double is a function, parameter you have to pass it. And here, this is the way you can function to the double the value, and then this is the way you define. Now, how do you call this? How do you call it doc string? So print double is a function, and if you, this is the inbuilt class. Okay, it's a constructor actually. So you have to use this one inbuilt constructor to display that. So doc string is available to us as the attributes like this of the function. Issue of the following code in a cell once you run the above code. So let's run this code. There's a problem. Not defined. Just a second. Did I copy paste the wrong code? This is defined. Oh, see here. Done. Okay, so this is the way you can display the. So what was the problem here? This is the invalid lines, doc string in the Python. So I copy paste and did not look at it carefully. So this is the way you can do that doc string. So that way you can display the any this you can use it to display some message about the functions to the users, and then very easy for formulate. Okay, now this is something which we have shown you in the slides also. Quickly I'll copy paste and run it. So here this is the float, this is number string integer, this is the float. Okay, and website, and something is missing here. Number, where's number? Let's copy paste whole things. No. Doc string is a object built-in functions. in a Python, which helps you to print the statement which you have declared here. In the we call it we call it a multi-line. So you automatically anything multi-line which you declare here, it will help you to print it. Is you can say is initialization of the one of the objects written in the inbuilt in the Python. Okay, so look at this here. This is a number, float, a double, a string. Here you are displaying this here. Look at this here. You are changing this because immutable. So you are changing it here. Again, this is the way to declare this variable, multiple variable at a time at once. Display here. Again, this is the way to declare that same variable, multiple variables, same time to same values. These all are ways to declare in Python. So different things you will see. So you should not get confused. So all this is the ways. So let's run it. Here you see. Important thing is not a print. Important things like this. Look at this one. Look at this one. This line, 10 line, 15 line. So this you have to get comfortable. Now, how do we declare the constant in Python? So constant is a type of variable which value cannot be changed. Understand that. Constants are written in all capital letters. You see here, POI, gravity is a capital letter, and underscore separating the words. In reality, we don't use constant in a Python, but the global and constant modules is used throughout the Python program. So this is the way you can declare the constant, and this is the way you can import that modules, import constant modules, and print constant.py, print constant.gravity. Now, what is an import constant? Basically, it's one of the class, actually inbuilt class in Python. So we are importing it, and then we are saying, okay, this constant, and declare this as a constant. So that's what we are saying. We don't use constant in Python, but the global or the constant module, this is the one of the class modules, is used throughout the Python programs for declaring the global variable. So you can use this one. So if you use this one, then that variable will be global to your projects, and then you can use it wherever you want it. So this is the way to set the global variable in Python. Now, some of these rules and naming convention for the variables and constant, I will let you decide how to declare the variable and what naming conventions we should use it or not. So this is one of the way you can use it. This is one of the way you can use this one of the way, this one of the ways, and all stuff like that. Okay, so here some of the special character. Never use special character. Some practices are there. You must read it. Don't use a start variable name with a digit. That's one more. So these are some of the specifications which we have when you use a declare. When you declare the variable, you have to address it. I assume like when you initially start with the Python, you will definitely not complicate the variable name. So you will have it simple one only by default. But yeah, if you want to specify, you have to go through this. Now some of the literals also we have it in Python. So integer literals, float literals, complex literals, and how you use it. Print. I've shown you this one also. So you can just copy paste the whole code. All these codes can be compiled without any problem. So see here, A is equal to binary literal, decimal literals, octal literals, hexadecimal literals, float literals, and here complex literal. So these are the ways you can define, and these are the way you can print it here. So here all this integer literal, here these are all the float literals, here you have all the complex literal. So done. So this is the, it's not important this one. Important is like how do you declare it, this one. Let's move on. This is a string related operations. Let me copy paste quickly. Okay, so see here, this is one of the string. How do you declare the string here? This is the multi-line string. This is a little bit something different. You should check it out. I've told you, right, in a single quote, double quote, and triple quote, you can declare the string. And this is something like a unique code. Unique code when you want to declare the Unicode, then start with U. When you want to declare the raw string, then you have to start with R. Okay, so raw, and it's a new line and string. Okay, so this is the way you can declare the different kind of string. Save it. Raw means some special character will be taken. You can process it that one, and then it will display like that. See here. So this is a special character, but if you don't declare R, then it will interpret as a new line. So let me do that. See here. Did you understand that? So you don't want to do that, so R. See, this is the special character. Now, what is this special character? This is not something related to programming language like Python. Every programming language you have this special character for tab, for spaces, for new line, for end of line, for paragraph, for lots of things. We have this in this. Okay, so here some of the booleans. How do you declare the booleans here? Just see here. This is the way you can declare the booleans. Look at this. X is equal to, you are declaring a volume 1 is equal to true, 1 is equal to false. So see here, you are changing the booleans also. Here you are sending the 1 is equal to true and 1 is equal to false also. So here A true plus 4. So what will be A true plus 4? And B true or false plus 10. So let's look at this here. Print X is X. So what will display? Print Y is Y. Here in third one and fourth one is interesting. So look at the output. See here. No, sorry. See here. So here X is true. Okay. Y is false. Here you set Y 1 is equal to true. So you are changing it because it's immutable, right? So you have to you are able to change it. A is equal to 5. So here true plus 0. So what you are doing? True means 1, and here it will become 5. Here false 10. So here false value. Here this is not coming from here. Remember, it's not a Y. It's a false. False means 0 by default plus 10. So it's a 10. So this is the way you can also do that. Some of the Boolean literals you can try here. Sorry, I did showed you. Yeah. Now, how do you use the data? Data types in how do you present the? So you look at this here. How do you display the data type? So here A is equal to 5. If you want to know what is the type of this data, so very simple. Type print A, okay, is a type of, this is a string, and type is a built-in function. So if you call it, it will tell you the which type you have it. So you can use it with any functions, any type actually. So see here you have a init type. So type itself is a built-in functions in Python. So you using that you can query and get to you can use basically for the some check and all stuff like that and get started. Now look at this here. We have a list. Okay, this all are list. See, this is one of the list. How you access it, we have already showed you on the slides also. Just copy pasting the code and making you comfortable. So here you have A2 means what? Here print A2 is equal to, and then here print A2. So A2 here is printing as it is. This is a string. Remember, it's not something which is a variable. So here, oh wait. This is a quote, right? Yeah. So this will print 15. Yeah, this will print 15. Yeah, so that's correct. See here. So here print A2. This is a string. Okay, and here A2, which is a 15 coming from here. 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. Here it will print A03. 0 means starting with the 5. 3 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 20. So here 5, 10, 15, except the 20. Yeah. And then here, same thing here. You can start from 5 to all. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here 30, 35, 40. So this is the way you can check it out. Tuples we have, I'll leave the tuples for time being. Strings, I've talked about the strings. Okay, look at this here. See here, this is the way you can declare the string and print it. This is the way, this is the way, this is the way. So all this thing, again, you have to practice it. I know that you can't remember all this stuff, but you have to practice. Over the period of time, you'll get it. Sets, I'll just ignore it. Convergence of the data type, yeah, this is very interesting actually. So you can convert the data types here. Look at this. If you want to float, int, float, string, int, you can convert whatever you want it, and you can print it after that. So whatever it is. Now print also you can output and all. I have shown you that one. So this is something we should look at it. Look at this here. So here you are printing a single sentence. This sentence is output the string. You are again, this is also age equal to 5. Here you set this outputting format. So here format I talked about it a lot. You know by now. So here same thing, format. If you want to format the output without a format, also use it. Format is optional, so you can do that. In the format you can use the variable names. Here we have a variable names, we used it. Here also variable names, variable names, but indexes also we can use it. So here, see here, oh, this is the index we have used. This is the index we have used it. Variable names we have used here. See here. Okay, so in that way. Okay, so input some mathematics related operators. So all these are a simple program. I don't think so you'll get stuck. Just I'll explain you to you on one go. Okay, look at this here. Setting up the two variables, which is integer in type. So you are able to do arithmetic operations here. All this here, comparison operator, again, see here. So you can look, I'll share all this reference. You can try it out slowly and get going. This is a logical operator. Okay, so here logical operator, remember I showed you the truth table. I hope you remember that. So done. So look at this here. Are you having comfort? Are you comfortable with this, all of you? Yeah, so guys, it's all about, like, you know, getting comfortable and practice it, because immediately you might not get it, but yeah, you keep practicing it, writing it for the projects and all, you get used to it. So now this is all about the what is Python, why do we need it, where can we use the Python, how to install it, what editor to use it, how to declare the Python variables, different types of variable, how to do the conditioning, how to do the looping, and what are the operators which we have it, how to use it, how to print, and some of the convergence related to the variables type we have talked about it. Now we'll talk about the method, basically function method is the same thing, and the classes. Okay, how do you declare the method, how do we use it method, how to declare the classes, how do we use it the classes, and followed by Flask, which is a framework. I'll talk about it. Okay, so any questions anyone have? Any questions?
Rajesh?
Yeah.
Okay, so can we have a practice like a demo? Perhaps we can do it, because just seeing in one glance we are unable to getting anything from it. So let's focus more on explanation, and demo part we can do it ourselves.
Yes, that's what I mean. That's the reason you might have noticed some of this output. I have taken a screenshot and put it in the slides also. But yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. So demo, this has to be combined actually. Some explanation, some demo. Others, if you do only explanation, people will say like, people will have not a good impressions for that. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit demo, but again, you'll have a recording. You can go through
True,
that.
but if we are running short of time, then
Yeah, no problem. I will try. I'm trying my best to cover, so you get at least out of this fear. You know what are the type of variables, how to use it, how to conditions and all stuff like. Again, I'll share all the program. You might have seen me doing it, just copying and pasting. So you have to practice a little bit lot, and it's not very difficult. Okay, Anupam, the same thing which I'm doing in the editor here in the notepad. No, what editor? Notepad plus. Something similar you have to do in the PyCharm also. So I will just load the PyCharm and run the same copy paste operations over there also. That's not a different. Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, it's an editor. That's all. Okay, any other questions, guys? Okay, guys, so let's have one break for 10 minutes, and after that break, once we come back, I'll show you method, class, objects, a little bit of other topics which is related to exception handling. That is important, and apart from that, we'll get into the one of the framework, Flask, which we'll have a discussion, and I'll give you the demos.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.